This is Moet. If she gained a few kilograms, she would lose her job. Moet is a model. This mentality that praises weight loss and punishes weight gain spilled over from the fashion industry to the normal world, a world where in France alone, over 3% of young people suffer from an eating disorder.
I still have body measurements from when I was 14, and my agency still expects me to be the same exact measurement, and it's really unhealthy.
In a country like France, where the myth of the effortlessly skinny woman is still prevalent, and Paris being the fashion capital of the world, how much can we blame the French fashion industry for those high numbers?
The issue is it's not just the fashion industry, it's when you look at society and what we've considered the ideal body image. As the ideal body image changes, people try to fit that image. I'm not beautiful if I'm not a size 1 or a size 2. But once marketing and the media started, showing very, very thin women as beautiful, that became almost the standard of beauty. Of course, there are people out there who may be a size 1 or a size 2, but that is not the norm at all. So what they are showing is false. It's not what, let's call it, real people look like. So what they are showing, I think, is false. And I think it's practically unethical.
I don't know a lot of women or people that don't have a weird relationship with food and with their body. If you're older, you can kind of be like, okay, I know that that's not realistic and I know that photoshopping is happening. But when you're young and you're like 10 and 11, 12, you can't really decipher that and you don't know that.
Because everyone wants to look like the models, and they set a really high expectancy of what someone should look like. At least in the US, I know it's changing slightly, but I think there's a lot more that we can do.
In 2017, 600,000 young people suffered from an eating disorder in France, eating disorders being the second highest cause of death among 15 to 24-year-olds. Because of lockdowns, isolation and emotional ballast, the Fédération Française d'Anorexie Boulimie reported that calls of their helpline went up by 30% last year. Designers are still adamant about their choice of body types, saying that they need skinny models to perfectly show off their clothes.
In terms of art, I think it totally makes sense. For designers, their clothing piece is art. For a model to embody their art is what they're looking for. There's this theory that these male designers just hate women because they want to get rid of the curves in women's bodies. They want you to look sick. They want you to be almost not human. That's the whole point of being a model. It's not something that an average person can embody.
The beauty standards we put on magazines, Target ads, Maybelline pictures, it's all a big scam in order to get women to be in this perfect little box. So very much the fashion world is responsible for the world's eating disorders. I mean, it's sad, but it's kind of the honest truth. Being in the fashion industry, I've pushed myself, and having the look is part of it.
It's not like a conscious thing, but it definitely did have a low-key influence on it that I didn't really realize until a lot later. To a certain extent, eating disorders, they're about bodies and they're about what I look like and they're about what I see and what I want to be physically, but it's so much more than that. It's a lot about control, because that's something I can control. I can control what's in my body and how I feel and how I look. So it's not just a simply oh, supermodels are really skinny, so now I have to be really skinny. It's so much more than that. They would say every single feature that was wrong with you. It was definitely challenging to hear those things and act like you're still beautiful. If you do speak up, you get blacklisted. If that's your career, you don't want to risk falling behind. I'd rather be healthy than lose a job, because it's not going to make me any happier if I get a job and I'm feeling bad.